You just have to put points on the board. It's as simple as that. Just getting the points on the board over a long enough period, over weeks to months, that's all you have to do. One of the biggest problems we have as a generation, as a young generation, I'm 27 now, and one of the biggest issues we have is overthinking, procrastination, and comparing ourselves to others, and thinking of how great that person is, or how much success that person's achieved, or how am I ever going to get to that level? Look at me now. I just have the bare minimum. I just have I don't have what he has. But what we fail to realize is that building momentum and having optimism, these two things, momentum and optimism, are two of the greatest things you can have as a young ambitious man, because having optimism is what will help you get out of bed in the morning, and then building momentum is what will take you from point A to point B and all the way to point D, E, F, G. So I believe these are the two most important things to have. Number one, momentum, and number two, optimism. And then you ask, how do we build momentum? How do we build this over time? We all want answers. We all want the quick fix. Everyone wants the solution right now. But it's not about now. It's about building this slowly over time, over weeks to months to years, and then looking back and seeing how far you've actually come. So building momentum is all about the tiny habits that you do every single day. It's about the accumulation of mini wins. It's what you do over 365 days, the mindset that you build, the lessons that you learn, the work that you put in, the experiences that you have. It's a mixture of all of these that builds momentum. This builds character. This allows you to move forward. This allows you to grow. So I think this is severely underrated in our society. We all want the finished product right now. We all want the shiny golden object right now. We all want to be at the top and have recognition and have status and have fame right now. But that's not how it works. You have to spend years building yourself up to that point. No one's made a success overnight. You spend multiple years, months building yourself up to the point so that you can get to that point, and that's essentially how you build momentum. And that's one of the most important things in achieving your goals, in getting to where you want to be, because truth be told, if you can't build any momentum moving forward, how are you ever meant to stay consistent towards your goals? How are you ever meant to achieve something that you want if you can't build the momentum? Momentum is what keeps you going forward. Momentum is what pushes you over that line. Momentum is what gives you that energy to keep going every single day. And if you don't have that, then you won't reach your goal. It's as simple as that. So we need momentum to reach our goals. How do we build momentum? We put in the work every single day. We accumulate mini wins. We stay proud of what we've achieved. Don't get lost in this mess. Look at your goal, understand that it's on top of a very high mountain, but then also understand that you have to break that mountain into small bite-sized pieces in order to climb that mountain. So don't get lost in looking at that huge mountain and thinking, I'm never going to climb that. Step back, break it down into multiple different steps, and then conquer those steps along the way. And that's the best way to break down a big, overwhelming task. And simply that's how you move forward. Another very important part of momentum and moving forward that I want to discuss is something called identity shift. So if I were to ask you right now, how do you see yourself? What's the sort of character that you see in yourself? Is it are you happy with it? Do you not like it? Are you avoiding it? What sort of person do you see when you look at yourself? Most of us don't have a positive self-image of ourselves, and I would say that 90% of young men have a negative self-image. They're not happy with themselves. They don't have much confidence. They talk negatively to themselves. They don't have good positive self-talk. And I think the biggest problem is that this is an automatic mechanism that works subconsciously. We don't do this consciously. For example, we wake up in the morning and our brains might instantly start to criticize ourselves or judge ourselves over past events. It's an automatic mechanism that most people can't break out of because they don't even know they're in that position in the first place. So the most important thing is to understand where you are, break out of that position, break out of that frame. You need to understand that your brain will focus on negative aspects. It's just an automatic mechanism that's become a habit. We need to break away from that. We need to force our brains to only think positively about ourselves, to only talk good to ourselves. We should only allow those thoughts in that favor us. It sounds very difficult and it takes time to get used to, but if you need to be delusional, but only filter in those thoughts that favor you. Even if they're not completely true right now, just filter in those thoughts that actually favor you, because over time your brain will learn to adapt to that, and that'll be your default setting moving forward. You should only filter those thoughts in that actually favor you. Like, let go of everything negative, let go of all the things in the past that you don't have control over today, because there's nothing you can do about it. Filter out everything that doesn't serve you. Become more positive, be more optimistic. Look at life like an amazing challenge, and don't look at obstacles with fear, but instead look at obstacles as a way to grow and get better and learn from the pain, learn from the mistakes. Essentially, everything is a win-win, because you either make mistakes and you learn, or you don't make mistakes and you get closer to your goal. But either way, you're getting closer to your goal, because by making mistakes, we learn and we correct course along the way towards our goal. So if you start to look at everything like that, more positively, and see most experiences as a chance to get better and not as obstacles, we can develop a mindset where we only win. And by extension, having this mindset means that we cannot lose, and that's the most amazing part of this, because if we have this mindset, we can't lose. And if you can't lose, what does that mean? So it's extremely important to have that mindset where you only allow those thoughts to come in that favor you. And then lastly, moving on to identity shift. Identity shift means that we are here right now. Let's say we're at level A, we want to get to level B. We are here, but we want to get here. So how do we see ourselves? How do we see our personality? How do we see our character? How do we see ourselves as a whole? We see ourselves at this level. Our brain cannot comprehend or cannot visualize ourselves past this level. We feel like we have the limits are on. So to get to this level, what we need to do is, even though we're at this level, we need to think of ourselves at this level. So see that difference? We are here, we want to get to here, but we need to think of ourselves at this level. Once we think of ourselves at this level, our true self will slowly begin to move upwards. And that's exactly how the brain works. if our brain thinks we are at a more superior level, we will naturally start to act like that over time, and we will slowly shift ourselves upwards. And that's a very important hack, because again, this is all in default mode. People don't choose to be at this level. They don't force their brains to stick to this level. It's a default mechanism where our brains automatically perceive ourselves at this level, but it doesn't know how to escape. But if we are conscious enough of the fact that we can move up, we can trick our brain into thinking we are greater or more superior or at a higher level than we actually are, our body over time will adjust to that and move up the ladder. And that's the power of identity shift, because we can move a lot higher than we actually are, and over time we will become what we want to become. I think if you implement those things, having practice identity shifting, see yourself at the goal that you want to reach, and your body will start to react that way. Number one. Number two, build momentum. Number three, be optimistic. If we can incorporate all of these things into our daily practices, I think we'll go a long way.